Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CGDQ 10th anniversary broadcast, where, as you can kind of see in the commentary screen, we have a party here. We have TheDrifter18 running Contra 3, and he's joined by 4 commentators. So we have Mike Uyama, Aquas, Shmupforlife, and FCJ2000. So I'm going to leave the floor to all of you right now.
Oops. Yeah, we might have to tell him. So we did an early countdown, so I guess we're really respecting the CGDQ run, and he's going to have to reset. I did reset twice in my CGDQ run, not for this reason though. But
oh man.
Okay,
there
here
we
we
go.
We're fine.
Yeah.
I thought that countdown was a little fast.
Yeah.
It's all right. It happens. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so for those of you who weren't here at CGDQ, which is probably most of you, I actually reset twice during this run because I was in serious time. This run is actually the birth of serious time. And yes, I actually did say serious time. And basically, I was very stressed out during CGDQ. And I saw Frezzy Man do some really nice Contra runs, and he did the Super C run shirtless, so I was also, a bit stunned by his sexiness. If you want to see the shirt rip reveal, you can look at the CGDQ VODs and look at the very end of the Contra VOD for that. It's pretty great. And, yeah, and so I was, really stressed out, and it was very funny because I look very serious in the run, and I kind of laugh at it now. And at the time, Rom Scout said that he had to leave the room because he was afraid he was going to laugh and I was going to kill him for that.
All right. Well, I think without further ado, we're ready to go for real.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if we want to give him the countdown, and then we'll get things started.
Okay, here we go.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So I guess Drifter is having a bit of his own serious time because he's actually not going to be in the commentary. So basically, Stage 1 can be a very big source of resets in Contra 3 because while the enemies popping out of the windows are not random, like the enemies that do spawn from the sides are random, and the red enemies can shoot bullets at you that are very fast.
Yeah, you're gonna see Drifter abuse a mechanic in the game that is switching weapons. You can see the lights flashing on the top left-hand corner. So he's mashing really hard, so he reduces the cooldown from the shots, and then he can do a lot of more damage to the boss.
Yeah. And that was a good beginning. He didn't die, which is always nice for the beginning. So that's better than me. He only had to reset once, and it wasn't his fault, unlike me. And he's using Spread and Crush right now because he can't get Double Crush, which is the most powerful combination. And Spread is a very powerful weapon when point blanked. But he's going to get the Double Crush because the Crush weapon is very, very powerful in this game because the explosion lingers for a long time and it does a lot of damage. And if you're constantly switching between the two, you can pump out a lot of DPS.
Yeah. And he's gonna abuse a second mechanic here that abuse the scrolling. So he's gonna try to keep himself on the right side of the screen. So the screen will always try to catch up with him. So not only you don't lose time if you do that, but you can keep enemy cycles because you're ahead of the scrolling. So
yeah,
it's pretty handy.
He just has to pause, for the big flame at the end there, obviously. And the way scrolling works is that you don't actually have to walk to the right, technically. You just have to be far enough to the right side of the screen. And so here's the first boss. The fastest strat is to point blank him, but that is not a very good marathon strat. And while he had some unfortunate RNG with the bullets, he does a good job of dodging and takes down the first boss.
Yeah, whenever you don't die on stage 1, you can count that as a win. Sure.
Exactly. That's a good stage 1.
Yeah, because you got past that volcano as well, which the eruption can randomly kind of kill you with how the fireballs come out. So that was good.
That's why he used the bomb. Even though bombs can cause lag, they're good as a safety strat, just to eliminate weaker enemies.
Oh,
He's
okay.
getting some unfortunate RNG here. So there's two types of turrets here. They're the type that open just as you're approaching them, and there's the other type that open when you're facing away from them. And the RNG, and there's like basically two patterns of RNG, and he went through the stage really quickly. Basically for this boss, you just want to focus point blank and kill the boss real fast. That's the power of Crush right there.
He always spawn in the same place, so you can turn yourself 180 degrees and stay like point blank right in front of the red eye and just for the win.
Yeah. So stage 3, not too much to talk about here. So I think I'm going to actually talk about a bit of the history of Contra 3 speedrunning. If you look in the bottom left corner, it says my time is 17 minutes. I think that includes the resets, because I think after I reset, my time was more like a 15, 10 or 15, which is really good marathon time, in my opinion. But, you know, you got to count those resets, you know, the double reset category. Anyway, when I first ran this game way back in 2005, yes, I am that much of an old boy. You can even call me a decrepit boy. I didn't really know about the weapon switching being so effective. And that was actually my time, 17 minutes. And then in about 2008, 2009, I was working on improving my run. And then I met a person called Mr. K, who is not as active in the scene as he used to be, but he still does Contra 3 runs and helps out with Contra speedruns from time to time. And he helped me get my 17-minute time down to a 14:59.
First ever sub 15.
Yep, exactly. Now sub 15 is a pretty approachable time, as long as you put like a decent amount of work into the hard mode category of this game. But back then, I thought it was like a very good run that would be very hard to beat. But there's been a lot of, even though there's been no like super huge discoveries, there's been a lot of like finds here and there that save time.
Yeah, you can always save more time any percent hard. It's like the game's not, the strats are not maxed out in this game. There's still a lot of...
Okay, unfortunately, Drifter got really bad RNG there. Normally, you can just jump up there and be able to dodge all the shots, but he got really bad RNG there, and it's pretty rare, but you occasionally get an undodgeable pattern. Fortunately, there's a crush pretty soon after this mini boss, if I'm not mistaken, so he won't lose too much time from that death.
And
even so, Laser Crush. Sorry, you go ahead.
Drifter keeps forgetting about picking up Laser whenever he dies in a marathon, so I'm just happy he did remember the Laser.
And there's the crush that I was talking about, and he's good to go again. Yeah, and as FCJ was about to say, Laser is still a powerful weapon, so if you die and that's all you can get, that's still a pretty good weapon to have. The only thing that you have to watch out for is to make sure that your laser hits, because it does linger on the screen for a while if it misses.
Yeah, both Laser and Crush, as well as Spread and Crush, are both very strong, and he took another death, which is a little unfortunate. Little bit of a rough pattern on the...
Yeah. So that's kind of a newer strat that I didn't use at strat CGDQ, because I thought that would... because I never really thought of it. I thought it would be too risky to do that. It's usually pretty reliable to do that. It's just that, yeah, if they don't cooperate with you and you can't kill them in time, then you will get that.
Oh man, the bomb strat.
Oh.
Yeah, this guy's kind of a nightmare. Normally, if you have double crush, you can just like point blank this guy and kill him before he really even does anything. But he's a nightmare if you lose your...
Yeah, if if you have double crush, he dies in like 3 or 4 seconds. Unfortunately, yeah, even if you even lose one crush, that is a lot of time lost on that boss fight.
But hey, we're gonna get to watch a little low percent strat, some low percent strats happening maybe.
Yeah.
Big shout outs to Aquas.
Yeah. So this is an auto scroller. I think if I remember correctly, there's only one crush here.
Yeah, this first capsule can either be a crush or a spread, and the last one right before the jetpack ninja is either be a crush.
Okay, he got the crush. Nice.
Yeah, he can come back here. There's a laser coming up, and this part isn't too hard, so he should be back up to laser and crush before you know it. And if he gets good luck on the second crush, he can be double crush before then. This.
Yeah, and you really want a double crush for the boss because it just makes taking out the top and bottom ends of the boss a lot easier.
During a time, like normal for runner, their biggest time save because it's really easy to lose time there, but it's possible to save time because of the boss fight.
And while that looks really risky right there, it's 100% reliable. You just stay in the right and you just don't get hit.
You got a good pattern.
Yep, had to take out the black acrobat there, as we call him, to advance the section. And those guys jump around everywhere, wherever they want, and so you're just kind of frantically looking for the kill there.
Remember to get the laser again. My hero. Yeah, the roller skater here, it's a pretty boss fight, but I have weapons. So he got a spread there. So we're going with laser because you can do more damage. Laser crush and spread also. Bullets just spread way open there and can't actually hit the boss. Best moment in the run right now. Hang on to those missiles, buddy.
Yeah, this fight. If you played this game casually, you probably remember this fight. This is a hard boss, and it's not too much easier in the speed run. This is the run killer.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, it's technically not RNG until you get to the second phase. It's just that the execution on getting a fast kill is so tight that it's just very difficult to do.
Yeah. The missiles as they come in, I think, are RNG. The speed at which they come, as well as like the order, I think, is RNG after like the first set.
Yeah, even the heights of them too.
Yeah, they're not always insane.
So sometimes you'll jump on that top missile and you won't be lined up to hit the core, and that's damage you're missing.
Okay, so this stage can be really rough because first off, the laser is not as effective here because it's more like a flamethrower in a sense.
It boosted him over back to where he started. Like
yeah, it was too bad.
Death abuse.
That was unintentional, looked like, and didn't help him out. Even though there's a death you can take there that actually puts you over that gap. Maybe he was trying to die intentional there.
Just a swag death warp.
It's like a 5-second time loss. The death warp, you have to like walk around, but it's not that bad. Oh god, he almost died again.
Yeah. So he's doing a little skip here. Skip that little corridor. Yeah.
Where all those bugs appear is pretty random as well, and then like the difference between normal and hard is like those little spinning whirlpools that spin you faster, and that's going to affect this boss as well once it starts spinning. You have to counteract it with L.
With basically there's a slower spin and a fast spin, and the fast spin you get by double tapping, and then you hold that so you can keep your position on the boss. Okay, that was a good fight.
Nice.
Yeah, even if you have a weapon like the laser or the flame, it's still worth it to swap weapons so you can get more crushes in.
Yeah,
for sure. Unless you like something goes horribly wrong and you just have laser, just have fire, then you're better off just
using laser. Probably anyway.
Right.
Moving on.
Yeah, this is stage 6. This is like we call this the gauntlet coming up. Just these enemies are just like Olympic athletes. They run so fast and they're so random. It's just some patterns you just can't avoid, and you're just gonna take a death. It's just you just cross your fingers just like that.
Yeah, tackled the football tackle.
Yeah, there's no shame in using a bomb here as like a marathon strat, or even if you're like just trying to lock in a PB at the lower levels, because I mean, even that bit of lag from the bomb is worth it if you can keep your crush.
That was an awesome hard fight by Drifter.
Yeah.
He almost died like 5 times.
Yeah.
So he got the jukes.
Yeah, thankfully in 80%, the crush laser or the double crush is just so overpowering that you just don't even have to deal with these boss patterns and a lot of the enemies and such. So, but as soon as you lose those, things start to slow down.
So
Nice,
it is
nice.
possible to kill the gargoyle in one pass on its second phase, but it's a very difficult trick to do.
Yeah, you can do it by using a bomb, which is fairly consistent. It's just the execution is a little tight, and if you get lucky, you can do it without using a.
All right. So we're on to the final boss, which is really interesting. So first off, the patterns rotate very quickly, and he wants the stones. The red brains can also be good, but basically he's waiting for it to slow down a bit. And the thing is, you have to have at least 3 or 4 phases on this boss, just because each time you get a phase, the boss hit points halve. So you really can't kill the boss before like the third or fourth phase. However,
Yeah, you really. Go ahead.
That doesn't mean that what damage you're doing is irrelevant, because as I said, the hit points halve, so you want to like get that number as low as possible for each halving.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say that the trick here is you want to just get through these first 3 cycles kind of as soon as possible and get on to the 4th one where you can actually finish.
Okay, he didn't get the stones.
Oh,
This
shit.
one is kind of hard if you don't have a bomb, because you have to try to kill these little orbs before they hit you. But the boss should die in this next phase no matter what's chosen. He's probably still going to try to aim for a good pattern. Okay, that's not a tough pattern. It's not a great pattern because a lot of the explosions will get caught on the legs instead of the boss. But he kills the boss, and this part of the run is actually a hard mode only bit. In the other difficulties, if I remember correctly, like once you kill the brain, you're done with the run.
Yeah.
However, in hard mode, the boss wants its revenge.
Yeah, you can get that boss fight normal mode if you're playing Japanese version.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
Kind of
why
a
give you a-
change.
nobody does all Japanese.
It is not too difficult. This is what you want him to do. He can sometimes swing his arms around, but you just have to be looking at his arms to do that. And time is coming up very soon. I actually don't remember when time is in this game. It's been so long since.
Is
I can call it.
it's gonna like flinch
Time.
up here? There it is. All right. Pretty good. 16:27. Beating the original CGDQ time. Take that, Mike.
Oh no!
We didn't count his reset though, so did he beat
Oh,
it?
Well, I mean, he only reset because we weren't prepared. So
Oh,
like
okay.
technically he beat it because the resets in my run were my fault. So
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
they should be included in the time, especially by modern GDQ timing rules. So yeah, because obviously the authority on what is a speedrun or not.
But yeah, it's a pretty solid time considering
Yeah.
the number of deaths. He had quite a few
Definitely.
setbacks there and
Yeah.
recovered from them. Like he went down to low percent at one point, and then like a minute later it was like back to double crush. So that's pretty.
I would say that's a pretty good time too.
Yeah, he showed off a lot of cool strats for stage 1, keeping the tank early on. So it's cool. Great run.
All right, well, thank you very much to all of you wonderful people for commentating. Uyama, Aquas, Shmupforlife, and FCJ2000. And that was TheDrifter18 doing Contra 3. But up next, we have some more Contra, Hardcore, with Uyama himself is going to be running it. And a couple of them are going to be staying on for commentary, so stick around. We'll be back in just a few moments.